what's going on, everyone? This is Knockout Argument, where we try to make our case in one shot. As you know, I'm your host, Chris.
And I'm Chris also. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, remember, please, hit that thumbs up, like this video right now, please.
Do that.
Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Mr. Woods, why are we here? I know why we're here. You told me already why we're here. Tell them.
Yeah, man. So today we are doing one of your favorites. Yeah, he's already in mode. Superman. I grew up, in the 80s and 90s, and the Christopher Reeve Superman was cool. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. I didn't have a problem with the emotional Superman and the brooding Superman, the sad Superman, but I gotta tell you, that's not really who Superman is. And so today my argument is Brandon Routh. Superman Returns.
What?
Specifically, a scene that I'm going to bring to the table
Why
right
would you
now
do this?
is the most Superman thing I've ever seen in a live action movie.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
He's the knockoff Christopher Reeves.
Well, that's the thing, and it's not
He does
his
a good
fault.
job of an imitation.
That's what they hired him to be. He's like, this movie, Superman Returns, is a continuation from the Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve Superman films, right? And so, like, in this particular film, he was gone for a little bit, and he comes back, so Superman Returns. In this scene that I'm bringing to the table, it's the one where Lois Lane, she's on an experimental plane. It's just a regular, jet airliner, and they have a shuttle on top, and they're launching it into space. And something goes wrong, and Superman has to save him. That's it. Like that's as basic as I can get with the synopsis.
But in their world,
Yeah.
at that point in time, there is no Superman on Earth as
Right.
far as they know.
They don't
He
know
has
that
left.
he's returned yet. Right. You're
Yeah.
right.
So
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is actually a kind of a tense situation
right.
for them.
Right. Another detail that I wanted to point out is that even though this is a continuation of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, it's not a good movie. Like, I did not like this movie. There was a lot of things I didn't like about this movie. I didn't like this Lex Luthor.
You mean that it didn't stick to the high standards set by the third and fourth Superman movies?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So
Quest for Peace?
It's not the only whack Superman movie, but like this was like not great. This is ironic because it has, again, one of the best Superman scenes I think in any movie. And again, this is coming from somebody who loves Zack Snyder Superman. That whole last 20 minutes of Man of Steel is like, yes,
That's a fun scene. That's
yes,
fun.
more of that.
Yeah.
Despite that, though, this scene, hands down, it's more Superman than anything that you can bring to the table in live action.
You guys have heard it here first. Brandon Ralph. Brandon.
Christopher Reeves too.
In Christopher. No.
That's what he was hired to do.
No.
That's what he was hired to do.
No. You heard it here first. We're about to see the most Superman scene in cinema history.
I think you will agree with me.
Let's roll.
Let's roll into it.
Nothing to worry about. It seems that we are.
That's something people say whenever there's something to worry about, bro. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Like,
That makes me very worried.
right, like I wasn't worried until you said that there's nothing to worry about. I know that one of the criticisms, and there were many of this movie, that they wouldn't do this, like have a shuttle on top of a plane like that, but that's actually how they do that. When they retired the space shuttle, that's how they moved it to the Smithsonian.
I don't think that the science was the biggest criticism about this movie.
Oh yeah, no. Again, there were many criticisms
Like,
of this movie.
listen, they can piggyback all types of vehicles on top of one another, and I would be fine if you make a cool movie.
Transformers could show up in this movie. And
Yeah,
it's like,
you
that
do whatever
wasn't
you
the
want.
problem.
Like, just make it cool.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to shit all over this movie, but it wasn't good though. Like,
No, but it did have some cool moments.
well, again, it has it's the best Superman movie
I heard.
or moment in my opinion. You know what
Allegedly.
I mean?
This is cool.
Yeah. I like what they did with his laser eyes. that looks Superman with the music. It just looks, it's so Superman like. It's not even that's Christopher Reeve Superman. It's just that is Superman, bro. How crazy is it that she gets tossed all over this plane too?
She should be dead so many times over. He should be taking out 49 reporters and one mashed Lois.
Yeah, right.
Like he should just. Damn, he's really distracted with that shuttle.
Like I think it was good. Like once you separated it from the plane, I think they were good. Like they had functioning engines and everything. When this movie come out, I think it's over 10 years ago.
Yeah, well over.
And this is some of the best Superman footage that I've seen. Like that looks really good.
Yo, she's so super dead.
Yeah, I know, right? Even details like this, like how he grabs the wing to gain control of the plane instead of like trying to just grab the plane and basically flying through it like a bullet.
Yeah, because that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How sweet is that?
This is dope.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder doesn't like the Superman character.
He has
These people do. They at least the Christopher Reeve Superman.
People say that about Zack Snyder. He doesn't like Superman. I disagree. I think that he just has this way about him where he likes to break down his characters in a certain type of way, and people don't enjoy that. And I can understand why people wouldn't enjoy something like that.
Well, that's not breaking down the characters.
By the way, that's one of the sweetest sequences in this whole scene right there. Is when he flies around the plane like that.
That's one of the sweetest Superman sequences. Period. Like
that
is really cool.
Yeah. And of course, he's landing the plane in a baseball park.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's not accidental, though. Where else is he going to park that thing?
Right.
He's got to think about all of those things as he's doing this.
See how the plane is crumbling and he has to grab it in a certain type of way to like... It's outstanding.
He had to make a choice about where to land because he knew he was going to have to lay this thing down.
I love that so much, bro.
Yeah, man.
Everything about this, it's so Superman. Like, of course, everybody would cheer.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, you did remind me. This is like when he first shows up. Like, nobody knows he's back until just now.
Well, I hope this experience hasn't put any of you off flying. Statistically speaking, it's still the safest way to travel.
You guys are killing me with that music, bro. Killing me.
Look at that look that he has on his face. It's pride, but it's not ugly pride. It's like, guys, I'm going to make you proud of me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to live up to your expectations. It's that kind of thing. Like,
that's why it's so great, because the mythos of Superman is supposed to inspire the common man to be their better selves. And I think this is a perfect example of what Superman is supposed to emulate. Like,
look at him.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good response. Wish he had flown off a little bit more aggressively,
but Cavill already does that. That's the one thing. It's funny, like, I love Cavill, I love the Snyderverse, but when I see this, I'm like, yeah, I can see why people heavily criticize that, and they go, yeah, that's not really Superman. That's not how he's supposed to be, because he's not really supposed to be that way. Like you just said, like, I wish he would have flew off a little bit aggressively. Superman doesn't do that. He doesn't fly out. He
doesn't do anything aggressively.
Right.
That's not his style.
Right. If I can say anything, that was a super dope scene. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, well, I'll get right into my good news, and I'll try to be concise, because this is a character that, well, you know, I can talk about Superman endlessly. I love this character.
I could easily say that Superman's one of your favorite characters.
He's absolutely my favorite character.
You've taught me stuff about Superman.
I love Superman. I remember watching like reruns of the old 50s show in black and white back in the day.
You're that old?
And enjoying. I wasn't in the 50s. They were reruns. They were well rerun. They had a lot of mileage on them by that point. By the time I came around, though, like, there was the Christopher Reeves Superman. And that was my Superman forever, for the longest time. Things changed for me more when I started watching Smallville. I really, really liked Tom Welling's Superman. This is an excellent Superman scene. No doubt this is a very Superman scene. We do see a whole lot of very good Superman tropes.
Sensibilities.
Yeah, you know, the confidence with which he separates the shuttle from the plane. He assesses the situation and very quickly.
It's like 50 civilians to like the 4 or 5
yeah.
astronauts. Yeah.
But he knows that he needs to first keep the problem from getting worse. And he does so. He sends his shuttle safely on its way and then returns to these people. And still, as fast as he moves, he's not doing the grimmest thing. He's rushing because he's fast, not because he doesn't have control of the situation. And that you feel that in this
Well,
scene.
he doesn't have to grimace because the plane isn't moving faster than he can go, but he's also trying to show care. Like we talked about the wing. The first thing he grabs is the wing, not because, you can go and get in front of the plane and, stop it and you'll just fly through the plane and kill everybody on the plane anyway. So he tries to control the plane because he's stronger and faster than anything that's happening around him. You know what I mean? And again, from somebody who likes that brooding, hulking Superman, this is just better. You know what I mean? This is the character.
The way he lands the plane, there's a lot of things that went into the
like the best
selection of where he places
A
that
baseball
plane.
park,
No one ends up injured. The cheering fans just excited that their protector has returned just in time.
I know that Superman's always, had this Jesus metaphor attached to him. Where, he's supposed to represent that or whatever. But I kind of feel like this is part of that. Like it's kind of like that landing has like a messianic quality to it.
Yeah, like
you know what I
a
mean?
second coming type of quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really, really, really.
That is a
strong
whole lot of
Superman
good.
scene.
That is a whole lot of good. I gotta hear what the negative is. Bro.
There's not a ton of bad. This is a really, really good Superman scene. This movie is not very good, but this scene is excellent. There were a few things that just bothered me. I'll start earlier on, starting with him hanging out with Jimmy. First thing.
It's a lot more. Ironic, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's a lot more complex than that.
I don't think so.
I think a lot happened just before this point. I think she exposes that she's with some other guy, and he kind of like finds all this stuff out at the same time.
This happens before this point? I don't think so.
I think so, bro.
Or maybe he already knows it because he's a stalker. But I think this is the first time she's seeing
Funny
it.
you bring that up. He does some stalker stuff in this movie too. Like
this movie has all kinds of problems.
He flies through their house and kind of like X-rays into the house and like looks all into the rooms.
Not okay,
and
Superman.
Observes whole conversations. Like
this is not okay. This is not how you use your powers. This is how we would use your powers. Like this is what a normal person does, not Superman.
It's very Homelandery, bro. Like,
This is a problem. But
yeah, man.
I did not like how Lois was just thrown
getting tossed
around the
around.
cabin of
Yeah,
that
man.
plane, and she was not turned into mush.
Right. Like I know these superhero movies already take those types of liberties where, somehow you got hit with a whole blast and fired against the wall. You don't even have so much as a concussion.
Yeah, look,
But
she went like full John Wick in there, like just getting battered
all over
and
the plane.
just came up just fine.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even.
Not even a scratch.
Yeah, she fainted over her shock.
Yeah.
Not over the concussions that she should have had from all of that being rattled around in there like a maraca.
Bro. You ain't never lied. That was the truest statement ever spoken. Right. Like all that tossing around, she got, knocked around and all that, and she fainted because she saw Superman.
But all of that aside, this did come together really, really nicely.
Yeah, man.
And so while I would love to give it a maybe,
Come on with it.
or even more deliciously,
And let
a
it
good
flow.
note, a good thumbs down, I'm gonna give it the thumbs up.
Yeah,
on
man.
this.
I couldn't even
Of course.
believe you on a thumbs down. It's like, look, bro. I
This
do
was
my
good.
research, and I know, like
What you research is me.
I do some risky things sometimes.
No, you
But
don't.
like, sometimes.
You brought anime. That was a risk.
That was a risk.
That
You're
was-
right.
that was a
You're
bad
right.
idea.
But in this particular case, bro, like, I know my audience.
All right. Yeah. You did all
Superman
right.
is his guy. He knows about Superman, and I know that there was things in this scene that just could not be denied. I mean, it again. I'll say it with confidence, with my chest poked out. This is the most Superman-y thing
I do think this
anybody
is,
can reference.
This does get a thumbs up from me as the most Superman scene in cinema.
Oh yeah,
You win, sir.
oh yeah, baby.
Now, do you agree with me? Did he get it right? I think he did. This is a good
I think I got-
scene
I
in
think
an
I got this one.
otherwise not good movie.
think I nailed this one.
he-
Yeah, that's what's
but-
so crazy about it. This movie is so like
It's one of
just-
the worst.
It's so
Superman
trash.
movies. I think I'd rather watch the Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
The Quest for Peace
Yeah.
is better than this movie.
Yeah.
Except for that scene.
And
That scene is
dis-
awesome.
And there's some disturbing imagery in that. That's the Quest for Peace. Is that the one? Is that the Richard Pryor one?
No,
No,
this is the
that's the
sun.
one- that's the sun
yeah,
dude.
the sun dude.
There's some stuff in there. Like they go hard with those fight scenes. But like the Richard Pryor one, there's some questionable scenes in that.
I don't
in
even
that
remember
movie.
that one. I think
Bro,
that-
somebody turns into a zombie, like
Oh, yeah, you did
cyborg,
tell
bro.
me
Like,
about
oh
that.
man, like these movies kind of get a little bit weird.
Yeah,
but like,
I don't think I've even seen all of the third one.
but
if
this
I'm being
movie
honest.
was not great. But it's so ironic that it has some of the best
It
Superman
is
scenes.
an excellent scene. here.
Absolutely.
But let us know in the comments if you agree
We
with
would
us.
love to know what you think.
Absolutely. As always, of course, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell.
Yep.
And join us again next time.
Yep.
Until then.
Yep. Peace. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna do that again.
Okay.
Kind of clicked. I hate when I do
Sure. Say it. What? A different language, maybe?
that. Hola.
Hola, amigos. Bienvenidos a Knockout Argument.
Nice. We should bring in one of the episodes. Like
Yeah, yeah.